Alright, I know you all are gonna be like, where the hell has this series been? Yada yada yada. I tell you what, alright? I've been trying to record this series. I recorded it 4 times in the past few weeks, alright? And every single time something went wrong. Either the audio cut out, either it just deleted somehow, or it just, basically just stopped working. So I'm gonna try to record it right now. If it doesn't work, then, sucks to be you guys, I guess, because that means you're not getting hashirama for a little bit longer. If it works, then you guys are getting hashirama. Yay, woo, yeah. Please don't kill me anymore. Like, I've been legit yelled at this point. Like, do hashirama. Jesus Christ, I swear to God, if I see another do this, like, violently, I'm gonna pull an XI on you guys. Disappear for a little bit. Not actually, though. But I will just stop a series for a while if you guys, are violent about it. I mean, actually, I'm not going to do that, because I know there's a lot of you guys who are really kind about it, now that I really think about it, because, some of you guys are like, hey, when is Hashirama coming out, man, and I'll tell you, and you're like, thanks, I was just wondering. So, yeah, you know what, I was a bit hasty, alright, I know, I see what happens now. Basically, like, some of you guys are just impatient. Alright, don't give me angry emojis, like that's gonna make me do it any faster, but just, some of you guys, not all of you guys, there are the good ones, there are the ones who are like nice about it and stuff like that. And yeah, so let me shut up now, because you guys didn't come to hear me talk, you came to hear a what if. So where I left off, how did I leave off again? Didn't, like, Deku and Nejire walk into the sunset, like, all romantically or some shit? I forgot. But, like, they aren't really dating. I don't remember what I did with that. I didn't watch, the last Hashirama video, so forgive me if I'm dumb. But I'm pretty sure they are on the, what's it called? They're on the sports festival. So, Deku, he's, hanging out with Nejire before they get told about the sports festival. And she's like, do you know about the sports festival yet? Deku's like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, the sports festival's like in a week. And then he's like, oh shit, I need to train for that. She's like, you need to train? You're already pretty strong. Deku's like, yeah, I have a feeling that I'm gonna be meeting someone over there. I was warned. And let's give you a flashback, alright? A week ago, basically Deku was pulled into his mindscape forcibly while he was asleep. And then, Deku's like, what the fuck? What are you doing here? Like, why am I in here, Hashirama? Hashirama's like, we have a guest. And Deku's like, there's a guest in here? And basically, Hagoromo Otsutsuki, or, the Sage of Six Paths. He shows up, he's like, yo. And then Deku's like, okay, so, who the fuck are you? Like, he's like, am I the reincarnation of 2 people now? Like, I'm confused. Sage of Six Paths is like, yes, but no. And then that confuses Naruto even more. Or, not Naruto, fuck. My friend was doing a Naruto what if, and now it's gotten into my head, Naruto, shit. So, basically, Deku's confused now, but he's like, don't worry about that part yet. But, basically, a friend of Hashirama's, he will also be, be being reincarnated here. Deku's like, okay, and why are you telling me this? He's like, he'll be in your school, and then, Deku's like, oh, why isn't he in my class? I guess that he'd be pretty strong. And then, basically the Sage of Six Paths is like, well, the thing is, he only just became Madara's reincarnation, but because of that, he's way stronger than, he should be. Like, so, just make sure, if you lose to him, don't feel bad. If you win to him, brag about it. That's what Hashirama's saying, but he's also like, yeah, don't lose to, that guy. So Deku's like, alright, but who is your friend? Do you even know the guy who's reincarnated as? Basically, he was like, nah, Madara chose who he reincarnated as. So, but all I know that he goes to your school. Deku's like, alright, well, I said Madara already, I think, so. What's it called? You already know. It's Madara Uchiha. The most badass Uchiha to ever fucking live. And if you say otherwise, you're a fucking joke, alright? I hate to be that guy. But Madara is like, it goes Madara, Itachi, alright? Then it goes Shishui, then Sasuke, then Obito. Only reason Obito's not more badass than Sasuke is because he started a war over a fucking 12-year-old. But we're not gonna talk about that. But we are going to talk about You're probably wondering, why is Sasuke the second worst in your opinion? Yada yada yada. Alright, he's emo. He's too emo. There's a difference between, I just, like, how do I say this? Little young Sasuke ruined older Sasuke for me. So yeah, if you're watching this and you're a Sasuke fanboy, then sorry, not sorry. That's my opinion. All right, you can hate if you want to hate. If you guys want what if Deku was Madara, that's probably not happening. Not gonna lie, because a lot of people do that. But, yeah, alright, let me get back on topic. So he's like, yeah, basically, my friend Madara Uchiha, you're probably wondering, some of you might be like, Madara's a bad guy, yada, yada, yada. No, because if you watch, the Kaguya fight, when, basically, spoiler alert, he dies again, and, basically, he gets talked no jutsu'd by Hashirama, finally, took him long enough. But basically, Madara realized, and he got betrayed, so he realized, what he did was dumb. So basically, Madara's trying to make up for that, for one. And two, they still have that fucking threat that's out there. And, that happens. By the way, I'm going on so many tangents. New God of Destruction, alright? Freaking stealing my Sage of Six Paths ideas and shit. God damn it. Get your own ideas, freaking nerd. Alright, let me not come at my friends. So, yeah, after Deku is, like, told that, Madara's gonna be there, and he doesn't know who the reincarnate is, so he's like, so he's not in my class, right? He's like, yeah, none of your classmates really give off that Madara aura, that aura. Not aura as in punch, aura as in, the glowy thingy that people have sometimes when they're badass. So Deku's like, alright, basically, that's the end of the flashback. Then, he tells Nejire that he has a friend who should be going to the tournament, who should be strong, like, as strong, if not stronger than him, so he needs to train. Because, I'm basically just trying to give Deku a rival here, because we gotta give him something until, he fights this big boss that I still haven't thought of, not gonna lie. Basically, Deku's just like, alright, I'll talk to you later, now that I know about this. So, basically, Deku does some training for, like, the next week. He learns some stuff. I'll get into what he learns later, alright? But, it's the start of the sports festival now, alright? Well, actually, no, I skipped a few stuff. So, then, basically, he goes to school. Aizawa tells him about the sports festival. Everyone's pumped except for Deku, because he already knew, But he's like, yeah, it's good to keep high morals, yada, 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 yada. Basically, after that, they open the door, they're about to leave, and then, they see the whole crowd of people. And then everybody's like, they're just talking about Class 1A. And then, Bakugo does the same shit he does in canon, where he calls them all extras, which, they kind of are, not gonna lie. But, like, the only thing I ever agree with Bakugo on is that those people were extras. And then, this purple-haired dude, he walks up, he's like, yeah, you guys better bring your A game, because I plan on taking your spots if you don't. And then, this sends chills down some people's backs, and Deku's like, huh, that guy's weird. Like, that guy's weird. I need to talk to him. Like, that Hashirama / Ashura in him is like, I need to help that guy out. So, Deku, he doesn't really talk to him yet, because he doesn't know the guy completely. He needs to hear about him more first. So, we get into the sports festival. It's basically, Midnight's like, alright everyone, yada yada yada, this will be the sports festival, this, that, and the third. The same shit as usual. So they're like, can we please get our class representative for 1A, Izuku Midoriya, to step forward to make a speech? Deku's like, oh shit, I didn't expect this, because, he's dumb, so he didn't really expect to be, I mean, he's not dumb, but, he's dense sometimes, so he didn't expect to be chosen, even though everything was building up for him to be chosen. So basically, Deku walks up there, he's like, oh, great, think. Like, as each step, he's like, alright, this is he just comes up with a whole speech as he's walking up. So basically, Deku, he gets up there, and he's like, alright, he taps on the mic a little bit, he's like, testing, everybody, like, they're all quiet. Deku's like, alright, he just gives this, I can't even think of one, because I gave an inspirational speech the first 3 times I recorded this, the first 4 times, actually, that I've recorded this, but right now I can't think of one. So he just basically tells everyone to do your best, and it doesn't matter what type of quirk you have. You make the quirk doesn't make you. You know, just shit like that. And then, you know, a few people, like, Monoma's like, what do you know about having a weak quirk, yada yada yada. You know, Deku's like, actually, I trained my quirk. He used to only be able to make a branch. Now I can do this. And, you know, he clasps his hands together, makes a whole fucking giant-ass cherry blossom tree. And he's like, yeah, I can do that too. You know, he just flexes on Monoma. Which, you know, Monoma can't copy fucking Chakra, because it's Chakra. You know, and then after that, you know, basically a few people are like, whoa, yada yada yada, we should intern that guy. Basically, he just already got like a bunch of people wanting to intern him, just based off the fact that, you know, if what he's saying is true, his growth is exponential. So he's probably like a prodigy or something. Which was Hashirama a prodigy? I don't think Hashirama was a prodigy. I think he just got strong. Which, you know, that's Hashirama for you. So then, you know, Shinso's like, this guy, I'll bring him down a peg or two. Right? So basically Deku, he gets into a running stance because it's the race, right? And then, you know, Nejire, she was in the crowd the whole time. She was cheering him on. So basically Deku gets ready, you know, on your mark, get set, go. And like the moment he starts running, like he sees that Todoroki's about to freeze the ground. He can tell because he sees like the ice coming off of Todoroki's foot. So he just jumps on the wall and starts wall running. And he gets past Todoroki pretty fast. Because, you know, he's a shinobi. You know, everybody else is going like cannon, but Deku is just destroying the competition right now. So, like, the 0-pointer shows up, but Deku, since he's a senju, he's aggressively strong. Like, not aggressive, like, that wasn't the right word. He's, aggressively strong. So basically, like, the 0-pointer goes for the punch. Deku, like, clasps his hands together, makes a giant wood hand that catches it and crushes the 0-pointer's arm and just drops it down. Deku just starts running again, and he's still, like, in a good lead because, you know, he's a shinobi who goes hella fast. Right? So then Deku, he's running, right? So he makes it to the tightrope. Deku basically powers up chakra in his foot and, you know, just starts chakra walking. You know, at one point, you know, he slides on the side and he's chakra walking upside down just to flex. You know, President Mike's like, oh my god, he's walking on the tightrope upside down. Like, what can't this kid do, right? So now everybody's like, what the fuck is this quirk? You know, All Might knows Deku, so he wouldn't say all for one or any bullshit like that. But, you know, he's just surprised on how versatile Deku's quirk is. He's like, damn, like, if this kid would have took one for all, it would have been crazy. But, you know, Nejire is a good user of one for all, because I made Nejire the user of one for all in this. If you're mad about it, too bad. So, then Deku, he's just, like, you know, kicking ass and taking names. So he's already gotten to the minefield, and at this point, like, the minefields are pretty easy. He just makes it across that. He gets first place pretty easily. Then it goes to cannon on the spots and stuff. But I'm going to change up the battle, the battle brackets. So Deku, instead of fighting Shinso first, he's going to be fighting Bakugo first, alright? So basically Bakugo's like, they should have saved the best for last, yada yada yada. And Deku's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So he basically gets into a stance. You know, Bakugo also kind of gets into a stance, but it's pretty shitty. Not gonna lie, it's a crappy stance. Like you only studied karate for like one day. So Deku's like, I guess you studied up a little bit. He's like, yeah, after you kicked my ass with karate moves, I studied up on karate. Deku's like, you know, it wasn't just karate, right? Like, Bakugo's like, isn't karate and everything, you know, like, the only fighting style? And Deku facepalms because, you know, Bakugo sounds super to shit. He's like, you never heard of Taekwondo, Jujitsu, you know, none of that. You know, he's like, yeah, tomato, tomato. All of it's the same, you know, which it's not. So, basically, Deku, like, gets into a fighting stance. Bakugo rushes at him because he's dumb. And even though he looked at karate for a day, he doesn't know that you don't attack first. You wait for your opponent's moves. But, I know this because I used to do karate. Yeah, a little shit about me. But, you don't care about me. So, basically, Deku is looking at him like he's stupid. And then Bakugo goes for a flip, goes for a kick. Deku just catches his foot. He's like, you gotta do better than this. And, he just throws Bakugo's foot up, which, makes Bakugo fall down on his back. Deku immediately just stomps him on the chest, which Bakugo loses all breath that he had. Deku's like, come on, you gotta really do better than this. Which, oh wait, I skipped over the cavalry battle. Oh, let me go back. Sorry. I know the comments were about to harass me about that. The cavalry battle. So basically, Deku is told to have the 10 million points. Everybody is looking at Deku like, we're about to get his ass. But, Deku just doesn't really care because Hashirama. And, he just gives him a kind smile, which has, like, this devious aura behind it, which scares them slightly. Which surprised some of them because, they didn't think that Deku could be scary because he was just nice. Because they've never really seen Deku fight. But then after that, Deku is like, he's like looking around and nobody wants to team up with him. Ojiro and Toru, they walk up to Deku. They're like, hey, why don't we team up with you? Because Ojiro and Invisible Girl are his friends in this one. But he's like, nah, I've already put a target on my back. It'll just be more dangerous for you guys. You guys do your own stuff and, I'll be okay. And they're like, okay, but you'll need a team. Deku's like, nah, I'm a one-man army, which they don't even understand the true meanings behind it. So basically, Deku, he just, Midnight's like, do you want a team? Deku's like, nah. He just basically makes, like, a few wood clones, right? He makes, like, 2 wood clones. And then, Midnight's like, can he do that, Nezu's like, we'll allow it, because it's a part of his quirk. So, Deku just works with his wood clones, but, like, the moment, like, the cavalry battle starts, it's like, 3, 2, 1, go, and then, everyone rushes at Deku, but Deku just makes a bunch of hand signs, right? And he's like, multi-shadow clone jutsu, So, there's, like, a billion Dekus, right, all across the field, and they're all running in different directions. So nobody knows which one's a real Deku, and no one knows which one has, like, the 10 million points. Some people go for the Dekus that are lagging behind, but Deku's not that dumb. Like, so he's, like, one of the Dekus that are fighting people and shit, which, people only realize after, like, a few blow up that these are all, like, dummy clones. So, yeah, that takes up about half the time, because everyone's fighting the clones right now. And then by halftime, there's like half of the clones are gone, but Deku's slightly tired, so it shows a little bit. But you have to really be looking for Deku in the whole crowd, which not a lot of people are doing anymore, since they're like, fuck this, we're just gonna go for points. So Bakugo, he's still looking for Deku hardcore, but like while he's doing that, Monoma snatches up his shit, which pisses off Bakugo. Bakugo goes back, grabs his stuff, And, yeah, basically the cavalry battles go with nobody being able to find Deku within the mosh pit, that is, the shadow clones. And, what's it called? And Deku being, just first place. So, since Deku's first place, I'm gonna change up the brackets a bit. Basically, Deku will be fighting, what's it called? Will be fighting Bakugo first, then Todoroki. Like, then he goes to, last place, or the final person. So, basically, while Deku is just getting ready to fight Bakugo, Todoroki does do his, like, proclamation of war, this means war, yada yada yada, stuff like that. So Deku's like, okay, that's cool, I guess, he doesn't really care, because Todoroki ain't seen no war, because Deku gets memory, like, I'll say that Deku gets, like, flashbacks of not Madara, Hashirama's memories. So he sees, like, some shit that Hashirama has seen, which, it changed Deku a little bit. He's not as bright, but, he's still bright enough to where you wouldn't notice. Because Hashirama, he's still a pretty, like, chill dude, even though he's been through some shit. So, yeah. Then Deku, he's just like, alright, well, that's cool and all, but I have a battle to get to. So basically, it's Deku versus Bakugo. Like I said before, Bakugo got in his shoddy karate, like, thing. He insulted karate by saying it's the same difference with everything, which it's not. And then after that, Deku just, stomped on Bakugo's chest. Bakugo, he loses his breath. He's like, like, he sounds like a smoker. But, after that, Deku just starts wailing on Bakugo. And then he just throws Bakugo out because he doesn't see the reason for Bakugo to even be there because Bakugo's a weak sauce. Then, it's Deku versus Todoroki. Deku basically, Todoroki goes for like his ice blast because he thinks that it's gonna easily take out Deku, which Deku just makes a giant wood fist to easily break the ice. He's like, come on, you have to do better than that. Use your flames. Like, think about it. It's wood. Like, using fire would be, like, the best thing you could do. So, Todoroki, he's like, I don't care. I'll never use my father's side, yada, yada, yada. So they start fighting for a little while. Deku's still winning. At this point, Deku's, like, tied some wood to Todoroki's, like, left, or I think left, right? No, left is his fire side. So his right ankle and his right arm. And just, like, Todoroki's like, what the hell is this? He tries to shoot ice, but, like, all that comes out is snow. And he's like, what the fuck? Deku's like, yeah, they're quirk, like, weakeners. So you can only use your fire side at its peak. So, show me what you got. Todoroki's like, I'll never use his side. And Deku's like, why not? He's like, why don't you use your fire? He's like, I'll never use my father's fire, yada, yada, yada. And, he gets that talking no jutsu, because Hashirama had it too, but just not on the same level. But Deku has it on the same level as Naruto. So he's just like, it's your quirk, not his. And, flames start popping up. But because of the flames, like, the wood burns. Because I'm not going to say his wood is immune to fire like a fucking crazy person. So it burns, like, the wood that's on, like, he burns, like, off the wood that's on his ankles and shit. And, he does his lukewarm, icy hot attack. Which, someone told me it's, what's it called? It was called something else, like Absolute Zeros or some shit. I don't know. Like, they told me the name was something else, but I think Lukewarm Icy Hot Attack is a much better name. So Deku, he gets shot by that, like, with that, and Deku just, does, wood style, like, just a gigantic fucking wood fist. They collide, but it's wood against ice and fire. So, Todoroki's winning right now, which Deku's like, alright, shit, like, while the wood is, like, fighting against Todoroki's fire and ice, he's like, alright, fucking, he does a few, hand signs, and he does a water jutsu, like, water style, water bullets. He shoots some water bullets, which cool down the fire enough to where, like, the wood fist actually makes it through and hits Todoroki, and Todoroki gets knocked out of the ring. So Deku is considered the winner for that match. And now, it's time for the finale you've all been waiting for. Hashirama versus Madara, otherwise known as Shinso versus Deku. Yes, Shinso is the reincarnation of Madara Uchiha. Because why the fuck not? I wanted, you guys said for Hashirama or Madara to be a good guy. And I thought that, Shinso would fit the bill pretty nicely because he's been through some shit. He's been called villainous. He has mind control, which is basically genjutsu. So, basically, Deku, he didn't really pay too much attention. No, he paid attention in Shinso's fight because he got a weird feeling from him. So he knows about Shinso's quirk and all. So Shinso, he tries to get Deku to talk, and Deku just refuses. And then Shinso's like, alright, you know what? I'm not even going to use my quirk on you because I have another way to fight you. Deku, he's confused. He's like, alright, he believes Shinso because he doesn't really feel any intent to lie. Like, we'll say, since he's Senju, he can feel that shit. So he's like, alright, show me what you got then. Shinso gets into an actually good fighting stance, which surprises Deku because he didn't seem like the type. So, after that, Deku and Shinso are throwing good hands. For each punch, there's a counter, and for each counter, there's a block. Basically, like, they're throwing good hands, alright? Basically, like, Nomu and All Might hands kind of right now, but with actual technique and not just arm flailing, because, All Might doesn't have technique. So, yeah, and then after that, it's, for a while, Shinso's like, alright, let's take this a bit more seriously, Shinso turns on the fucking, 3 Tomo Sharingan, because I said Shinso was OP, like, in the beginning. So he turns on his 3 Tomo, and he's like, let's take this a little bit seriously. Deku's like, oh, you're starting to take this a little bit seriously now. So he basically takes off his shirt, and, Nejire's in the crowd blushing like a fucking tomato. That's a word that I could use. There we go, tomato. And then Deku just, like, he basically puts his, like, arm to his, like, right chest, like, the right part of his chest. He twists it, which, like, a bunch of tattoos just appear on Deku, and they, like, glow and then come off. Basically Shinso's like, what were those? And, Deku's like, gravity seals. Shinso knows what gravity seals are because Madara has explained them and was planning on using it for Shinso's training. So Shinso's like, shit, this guy's gonna be strong. Because Shinso knew that Deku was the reincarnation of Hashirama, let's say. So, that's why Shinso had a problem with him. So after that, Shinso and Deku are now throwing good hands as well. Shinso's keeping up with Deku because of the Sharingan, and, Deku's keeping up with Shinso because, he was wearing gravity seals the whole time. So Shinso's like, alright, he backs up from Deku. He's like, alright, you're pretty fast, you know that? Deku's like, yeah, honestly, I could say the same about you. But, Shinso was barely catching Deku's hits or, countering them in general. So Shinso's like, alright, well, I know that you didn't plan for this one. So basically Shinso closes the eyes and, his 3 tomos, like, twist around and then they become Madara's Mangekyo. I know you're probably gonna say, how does he have Mangekyo? Yada, yada, yada. I'm just trying to give Deku a good fight here, and I'm trying to make this entertaining for you guys, so stop complaining. So, yeah. So then, Deku, he's like, the fuck happened to your eyes? Hashirama's in Deku's head like, shit, it's a Mangekyo. And then, Deku's like, the fuck's a Mangekyo? As that's happening, Deku's fighting Shinso, but Shinso has the upper hand. So, I'm gonna say that either way, Shinso's Mangekyo ability is to make the Limbo clones, alright? But the difference is, before you panic attack, the difference is, unlike how Madara made like 3 of them with the Rinnegan, Shinso can only make 1 of them for a short period of time. So basically, like, it's like a random Limbo clone will just hit him out of nowhere, and that's about it. Shinso doesn't have the Rinnegan yet. Sorry, yet. But, Deku, he's like, what do I do? He's like, do the thing. And then, Deku's like, wait, but I thought you said I could become stone if I do this wrong. But he's like, yeah, but you're a senju, so most likely you'll be okay. And he's like, most likely? He's like, the fight's not really worth my own life. He's like, listen, it's bragging rights here, alright? I'm not gonna let Madara say that his reincarnation is stronger than mine. So, Deku's like, shit, you kinda right, though. We've had time. So Deku just, he basically kicks Shinso away, and, he creates, like, a few thousand shadow clones, we'll say, because he's a senju who has a buttload of chakra. So, basically Shinso, he's kicking the shit out of all the shadow clones, because he's basically Madara versus Shinobi alliancing them. So then, he finally defeats the last shadow clone, but he sees that Deku's just sitting down with his eyes closed. He's like, the hell are you doing? Madara's like, you better get him right now, or else you're fucked. And Shinso's like, the fuck are you talking about? He's like, hurry up, or, you're out of time. Basically, Shinso just, does hand signs, and he's like, fire style, fireball jutsu. He shoots a fireball. Deku, basically, he opens his eyes, and, he gets them tats. He's tatted up. But, he's in Sage mode, so he immediately dodges it. Shinso's like, the fuck? And, he sees that Deku's in Sage mode. So he's like, the fuck is that? Basically Madara's like, that's Sage mode. Basically, the bane of your existence. And then, Shinso's like, either way, I could kick him out of the ring with, my Limbo clone. So, I forget, but couldn't, like, Naruto sense where Madara's Limbo clones were? Since I think that he can, I'm gonna say Deku can do that too. So basically, he goes for a Limbo punch, Deku dodges it and just hits the Limbo clone, which, surprises the fuck out of Shinso. And he's like I said, Sage mode, the bane of your existence. He's like, damn, alright, well, we gonna have to fight. So they're throwing good hands now. It's really good. And the crowd's going fucking insane, because they're throwing right hooks, left hooks, all the fucking jabs in the world. Like, you can't even see their arms. It's like it's like the world versus Star Platinum right now. They are making a crater in the fucking arena. So, Shinso jumps back. Deku also jumps back. He's like, alright, I'm gonna have to take you more seriously, right? He basically makes an incomplete Susanoo, which, Deku's surprised, Hashirama's mostly surprised about. Deku's like, the fuck is that? He's like, that's a Susanoo, a Mangekyo ability. Don't worry, we're good. Deku's like, the fuck you mean we're good? That thing's huge. Basically he's like, bro, just do the jutsu that I taught you. Deku's like, yeah. He basically makes, like, a medium, like, not nearly the same size that Hashirama could make, but, like, a pretty big wood golem. So it's about the same size as the incomplete Susanoo. So basically, now, what's it called? Hashirama and Deku are throwing, or not Hashirama and Deku, Shinso and Deku, they're fighting, you know, Shinso's going for slashes, Deku's like shooting out wood dragons, you know. I'm not gonna say the Susanoo is like, you know, not cracking, but Deku is also cracking as well. So, you know, after that, Deku, like, we'll say the wood golem breaks on him first. You know, Shinso's like, what will you do now? Right? And then Deku's like, I'll do my fight. Like, you know, he's like, shit, I only have one last jutsu that I could do, but this shit's dangerous to do. I'm probably gonna be exhausted from chakra for weeks. You know? Then, like, Hashirama's like, if you fuck up this jutsu, you know, you're fucked for, like, a week, and Shinso wins. He's like, yeah, but if I don't do it, I lose either way. So, you know, basically, Hashirama's like, fair point, fair point. So Deku basically clasps his hand together. He does, like, a few hand signs, right? And then after that, you know, basically, like, this giant, like, you know, like, fucking statue with, like, 100, like, we'll say about 300 hands, alright? No, 400. Where 400 hands comes out. And it's about, like, the height of the stadium. So Deku is standing above it, you know. Basically, Shinso's like, oh, shit, I have a bad feeling. So, you know, he's like, it doesn't matter. You know, Shinso's like, I have to hold my confidence. He's like, it doesn't matter what you do. You can't break this Susanoo. It's the ultimate defense. You know, Deku's like, I don't give a shit. So, you know, because Deku's taking this fight seriously, which surprises some people that Deku cursed. Because, you know, they've never seen him fight seriously. So, basically, you know, Deku's like, what style? 400 crashing fists. I don't think that's the actual jutsu's name, but you know, it's like one long ass name that I couldn't remember even if you begged me to. So, you know, basically after that, Deku, you know, he throws like 400 fists down. You know, Shinso, he goes to like basically swing his sword, but like he's like blocking it with his sword. But you know, his sword breaks because obviously, and then like from the first 100 punches, and then Shinso gets his Susanoo broken by the next 200, and then like he gets hit by 100. But since he's a reincarnation of Madara, he survives. Deku wasn't trying to kill him now. So basically, Shinso's knocked out, right? And then they're like, the winner. So basically, Deku like gets down because he's down from there. He's like he's breathing hard. You know, the winner of the match is Izuku Midoriya, right? So, like, the whole crowd is cheering, right? And Deku's just standing there. So, basically, like, you know, like, we'll say All Might walks up to Deku. He's like, you did very good, young man. You know, basically, Deku's still standing there, not saying a thing. And, you know, basically, like, All Might's like, what the hell? And then he basically taps on Deku. Like, you know, he looks at Deku, and he realizes that Deku's knocked the fuck out. He's slumped, you know? But, like, he's still standing. So he's like, oh shit, this kid's still standing, like, you know, because that's some badass shit. So, after that, basically, Deku gets tapped by All Might, and he immediately just falls, because he had nothing left in him. So basically, he's like, yeah, this guy, you know, he got knocked out too. And they're like, wait, what? So wait, who won? He's like, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Shinso got knocked out first, so Deku wins. So, you know, that happens. Everybody's cheering, and then you know, Shinso is for sure going to Class 1A. Sorry, Mineta, it's been fun, but you know, basically after that, no, I'm not gonna kick out Mineta. I'm just gonna bring Kendo into Class 1A because I don't feel like kicking out Mineta because he can be good for, you know, comic relief at times, even if you guys hate him. Oh god, god damn, I hurt my arm from stretching. But you know, basically, Deku's knocked out for a week. Nedre's there. She's like, what the fuck? Why is he, you know, still asleep? Yada yada yada. She's worried. You know, basically, Deku wakes up after a week. You know, Nedre's there still because she was really worried about him. Deku's like, what time is it? You know, Nedre gets up real quick. She's like, you're awake. You know, Shinso's still knocked out too. So, you know, Kendo's there for him. So that could be a thing if you guys want it to be. But basically, you know, Deku's like, what the fuck happened? And she's like, you did some giant wood thing and then you were knocked out for a week. He's like, I exhausted myself. You know, she basically, you know, tackles him because she was worried. She was like, you freaking idiot. You shouldn't overdo it. Yada, yada, yada. And he's like, no, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. You know? And she was like, no, I was really worried about you. You know, Deku hugs her because, you know, she matters to him. He's like, don't worry, I'll be fine, you know. yeah, like, you know, they're talking, and basically, you know, recovery girl's like, if you're better now, you're free to go. So, you know, they basically go, you know, they get out. Deku's walking with Nedre. Nedre's, you know, basically twiddling her thumbs because she wants to ask something. Deku can tell. He's like, what's up? You know, basically Nedre's like, it's nothing. And Deku stops her. He's like, well, you have nothing to say. I have something to say, though. You know, Nedre's confused. Deku's like, you know, Hashirama's like, do it, you know, because, you know, he's like, come on, man, you got this, bro. Come on, you got that Hashirama smile. You can make any girl fall for you. Just do it. So, you know, basically Deku's like, you know, you want to go out sometime, but, you know, that. So, you know, she's like, of course, because she was planning on asking the same thing, but she was just nervous. So, you know, Deku, he's happy that she said yes, and, you know, she's happy that he asked. And he's like, alright, well, I'll see you later. You know, so Deku heads home, and, you know, he goes to sleep. And I've recorded this video 4 times, so forgive me if this is a little short, and I don't feel like recording, you know, this whole thing again. So if this doesn't work, honestly, consider Hashirama canceled for, like, another week. But, yeah, hopefully this works. If not, then fuck. But, yeah, bye-bye.